Lads, welcome back to another video, and this one is going to be my Scottish Premiership predictions for the 2019-20 season. Obviously, Scottish Championship ones came out yesterday. Thanks for the whole support on that video, and also the amount of feedback I got for it in terms of just general comments on your predictions for the Championship. You can do the same again for the Scottish Premiership as I go through mine. Obviously, there's a couple of more teams to talk about, so let's not waste any time and let's get straight into it. My Scottish Premiership predictions for the 2019-20 season. In yesterday's video, I was at the left hand side of it, now I'm at the right hand side. Crazy editing stuff. So we're starting at the bottom just like we did yesterday, and it's going to be Hamilton Academical. I had them finishing in and around the relegation places last season. I think I might have had them either bottom or in the playoffs, and I'm falling into the trap of doing it again. They survived last year, they've survived for about 5 years in a row now or something like that, and again I'm putting them there, and I just don't think I'll ever get out of the whole cycle of putting Hamilton in these places. I just don't see them as a Premiership team, and there's something in my head that always just goes, Hamilton are going to finish bottom. Will this be the year? We'll wait and see, but that's my prediction for this year, that Hamilton Academical will finish bottom of the Scottish Premiership. And the relegation playoff place in the Premiership is a slightly more controversial one. Hamilton, you could see a lot of people just saying that Hamilton will finish in the relegation places, but I don't know if many people will be sticking their neck out on the line to say that St Johnstone will finish in one of the relegation places. But I am doing exactly that. I don't think they are any great shakes at all this season. So far anyway, of course, obviously it's only pre-season, not much can be read into any of this stuff, but for what I've seen and what I just think in general of the league, I don't think there'll be much between these kind of bottom 6 teams, because I don't think there's a great amount of quality within the bottom 6 this year. I think it will be quite a dire year for the rest of the league outside the top 6. So I've got St Johnstone finishing the relegation playoff place just because I think they've not got the same things about them that they did have in the last couple of seasons. I think that they will curtail this season. It will really depend on how well they start and stuff like that. I think if they don't have a good start, Tommy Wright will start to get questioned as manager. A lot of things could change that makes this prediction either completely right or completely wrong. If Tommy Wright goes, they could bring in a new manager, they could have a bounce and they could go up the league again. But I'm going to stick my neck out on the line and say that St Johnstone will finish in a relegation playoff place and possibly get relegated into the Scottish Championship. So here's my first sort of bold prediction of the season. I think a lot of people will again have this team in their bottom 2. I've got Livingston finishing in 10th. I had them finishing here last season, I believe. I said that they would just survive, and I've got them finishing here again. They've started off well in the Betfred Cup, something that St Johnstone simply haven't done, and they have impressed me with the type of signings they have brought in. I thought with the loss of players like Halkett, Gallagher, Kelly, I thought they would have struggled a bit more, but they seem to have recruited well enough for what they need. Gary Holt is their manager, solid choice, and I think that he'll do just enough to keep Livingston up. Defy the odds, because as I said, a lot of people will probably have them down there, but I'm going to say that they're going to stay safe for another year in the Premiership. And finishing one place above them is St Mirren. Again, this is one of these ones that, as I said, it will be close between these bottom 6 teams, because I don't believe there's a lot between them. I think they're all very similar in a lack of quality, really. And I don't think St Mirren are well set for going into this league, and again it could be one of those ones that depends how they start and different variables in the season. But I think because it's so close, it doesn't really matter what exact positions I put these teams in. For me, it matters who I've got in the bottom 6 and the top 6, really. The bottom 6 could be a bit of a flip of a coin type thing, but I've got St Mirren finishing in 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th in the league, just above Livingston. They're going to be safe, and again, it'll be a close one with the bottom teams, but I've got St Mirren finishing in 9th position. Jim Goodwin is their manager, of course. It'll be interesting to see how he takes to this season, because it could be a difficult one if St Mirren kind of really start to struggle. He needs to get players in for one thing. That's the first task on his hands. In 8th position, I've got one that's falling down the league, Kilmarnock. Now obviously they got Europa League football last season, and I just don't think that the new manager coming in, I don't think it's the right fit. I think a lot of things will change over this season that just were always there with Steve Clarke, and I don't think there's going to be the same camaraderie, the same sort of solidness about Kilmarnock. I think they're going to kind of fall away a lot this season and go back into that bottom 6 where they were prior to Steve Clarke coming in. And I just think that a lot of the stuff with Kilmarnock was the sort of Steve Clarke effect, and now that he's gone, I just don't see it being the same. So Kilmarnock to finish 7th. And a surprise team, I suppose, finishing as high as this, I've got Ross County. I just don't see them finishing anywhere near the actual relegation places. I know I've said it'll be close to this bottom 6, but obviously you will be a decent level away from the actual bottom places themselves. I think Ross County will surprise people this season. I think they've got a good goal scorer in Billy Mackay, they've got a good overall squad in general. I just think they'll probably overperform in a lot of people's eyes, but I think they will do pretty well. And obviously finishing in 7th place is a good position for them to finish, considering they would have just came up. So maybe it's one that I'm sticking my neck out on the line for, but I've got them finishing 7th and we'll see what comes of it. Now in 6th position, I've just changed my mind on this one. I've got it written down here, but I'm changing my mind at the last second. I'm going to have Hearts in 6th. I don't think that they've pulled any great shapes over the course of pre-season. I just don't think that the whole vibe around Hearts is going to be the same as the team that I'm going to swap them with. And I just don't see Hearts being the unit that I would expect them to be. So I've got them finishing 6th. Bottom of the bottom 6. They're still in the top 6, so it's an okay season, but of course they'd be wanting European football, etc. So I've got them finishing 6th. And that was a last minute decision. In 5th place, I've now got Motherwell. They are going to finish above Hearts, and for the first time in a good few years they're going to finish in the top 6. I think they've got a fantastic squad, and even the new players have settled in very well in the Betfred Cup. They actually drew Hearts in the next round of the Betfred Cup, so it'll be interesting to see how those two pit well together, considering I've just swapped them in my league predictions. But I think the whole vibe around the Motherwell squad is fantastic. I just think that this is their year to finally get into that top 6 and start to maybe really get a grasp on being a top 6 club again, because they have missed out on that in the last couple of years, and I think this is their year. I think they're going to play a different brand of football to what they've played in recent years, and I think it'll be exciting for their fans. I think, again, like Ross County, they'll surprise a lot of people and pull off some really good results, and I think they'll finish 5th. Now we're into the kind of settled ones. Top 4, I'm going to go for in 4th, Aberdeen. And yes, they did finish above Hibs last season, but I've got them finishing 4th, because I just think that the team I've got finishing in 3rd will have more than them this season. But aye, they'll also have players like Gary Mackay-Steven, etc. I don't know if they've really replaced it with the same quality, and the players that they have replaced it with, I've yet to see that really. They've got Europa League football. If they go far enough in that, could it hamper their season? I don't know the answers to that, but I know the answer to my prediction for them, and that's 4th position in the Scottish Premiership. 3rd, we've got Hibernian, and I do like to back Hibernian because I do think that they do play good football, and I just think that they're a nice team to watch on the eye. They always bring in good fast players and ones that will get the goals for you, and they've not got the best defence of course, but they do seem to have players who like to fight for the Hibs badge and stuff like that. Your David Grays, your McGregors, etc, etc. There's players there that know exactly what it means to play for Hibs, and I just see this being their year to get Europa League football again, and Paul Heckingbottom to really pull it out of the bag and get Hibs back into European football, as I said. 3rd place for Hibs. And then in 2nd, is it Rangers' year for 55? No. I have them finishing 2nd in the league this year. Obviously that means Celtic are going to win the league. I just don't see Rangers having enough to pip Celtic to the title this year. Of course Steven Gerrard needs it really, but I think that they will win a trophy. I don't think it'll be a quadruple treble for Celtic this season. I think that Rangers will win one trophy out of the 3 that they're involved in, whether that be the League Cup, the Scottish Cup or the league itself. I don't think it'll be the league, to be fair, so that's one knocked off. So the League Cup or the Scottish Cup will be Rangers, for my opinion. One of those, but not the league. The league is definitely Celtic's in my opinion this year. And yeah, that's basically all I'm going to say on it. I'm not going to delve into great detail because Celtic are going for 9 in a row. There's really no other reason why I shouldn't believe they should win the league. I think it'll be closer than it ever has been since Rangers came back up, of course. But yeah, I think Celtic will win the league, and that's just the bare bones of it. That's it for this video, guys. Cheers for watching. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like. Comment down below what your predictions for the Scottish Premiership table are for the 2019-20 season. Subscribe for more of this type of content. And until the next video, which will be the return of Predict the 6 with me and Jenny tomorrow, I'll see you then. Cheers, guys.